Welcome back on board, everyone. This is Captain Firespit speaking, and I hope nobody got addicted to the treatments out here in Magdalene's. After all, as we had left off last time, we had come to learn that, well, we're not the only ones who run the risk. There's also the workers themselves. And while we're here, we need to return to the circus. But on the way, we have to go to New Winchester, and at some point back to Port Prosper. There's also, I don't know what's over here, so I think that'll be worth checking out real quick. We found something back over here, but nah, we're just gonna go and skip past that. A standing chance it's probably something that requires a drill or a saying, and I don't have either. But we can't swing by over here. This place is covered in mushrooms. Sure. Let's get that 6 supplies. Ooh, dense fog going through. Your scout complains about the cold. It found nothing. Understandable. I get it. I gets it. Do one more swing at it. As we do just a little bit of here we go. There's something out there. Huh. That may require going in that direction. As this is quite the aggressive looking environment. Okay. Salom's Fall. Here we go. Looks like we can go around through here. Choo choo. Straight through the rocks. Boots' Ridge. That probably requires mining, but I want to check real quick. Yep, that requires mining. As does this. It is pretty here. Dancing starlight. Deep in the fog. That is a red fog. That is a little concerning. That's a red fog. Alright, let's make it quick out of here. Ooh. Oh dear. Oh dear. We need to get out of here quick. At least I'm hoping there's a path out of here. Oh, thank goodness. Right, right. We're gonna need things before we consider that direction again. We're gonna need many things. Let's go this way. Just simply because I have not gone this way before. Okay. The sky closes its cold jaws about you, water freezes in the pipes, engineers scurry to and fro with boiling kettles. Well, that was an interesting detour. Let's not go there again. Let's go ahead and make our way back to Winchester and actually, it's a little bit of a ways off, but I want to check out the would that be worth it though? Pistos, hurry. No, I don't think it would be worth it. I don't think it would be worth going to the Blue Kingdom Transit Relay. At least not yet. Okay. Search for the amenable host's identity. Titan of industry. Those are rare outside of Albion. The initial search is fruitless. People giggle at the antiquated fashion on display in the daguerreotype, the tilt of the jaw, the unfortunate arrangement of hair. But the proprietor of the round table seems to recognize the face. Oh yes, right sod he was. She holds the locket up to catch the falling starlight through window. Once it opened a factory here a few years back. Something went wrong and there was a workers' revolt. Not been since. Or not been seen since. Okay. We'll definitely just fork out for the full repairs. Actually, need 1,000. Need a little bit more than 1,000 sovereigns. Perhaps another time. I'm gonna stock up on supplies fully and completely. Okay. Because I get the feeling after I stop at the circus here, I'm gonna need to stock. I'm gonna need to swing up to Hybris. So it'll be better to be fully stocked. Alright, there we go. Alright, report. Alright, return the humiliated musician's suitcase and what might be his cat. Monsieur Francios has been, all things considered, a very well behaved passenger. The humiliated musician's eyes widen as he sees Monsieur Francios. He takes the cat with trembling hands, who purrs briefly before jumping to investigate the caravan's cupboards. I never expected I'd see him again, the musician says. I have space for him when I left, thank you. He turns his attention to the suitcase. Inside are faded posters, playbills, and photographs. This is Marzipan and me. The musician holds up a photograph of two gentlemen in coat and tails. We were apprenticed under Monsieur Pleats. This is before Hallow arrived, and he shakes his head. At last, he unearths a small vial of amber liquid. Take the vial. The glass is crystal, the color deep and resinous. It catches the candlelight, gleams golden in your hands. Prisoner's honey, says the humiliated musician. My last batch from old London. Mazapan and I used to dream together. This was before Hallow, of course, with her confounded glass. He sighs. No, I have wasted enough breath on that one. He take a few sips of this next time you're on Hybris. Find somewhere comfortable to sleep. You'll see your colonists again. Okay. Signaler who will increase your hearts and your veils by 4. You know what? Let's hire him. Just. Oh, I already have a signaler. Ah, well. Huh. Alright. Lose a little bit of terror, and now we'll do that quick port report. Okay. Mirrors. Anything I can do to up my mirrors? Iron 6 veils. 4 hearts, 4 veils. None of you increase my mirrors. Hmm. Oh well. Okay, well, I'm getting through terror out of that. You locate a comfortable armchair in the Brendan and pour yourself a small measure of the honey into a little teacup after you've mushrooms. The factor has refused to partake. I'll keep watch besides. I don't know where it's been. You dream of forests, real forests of vine and nut trees. Something hisses near your ear. You see in the distance a group of young men and women dancing with serpents, just on the far side of a further river. You think you see them begin a game of bowls just before you wake. You know what? Let's report. The colonist has. Let's just make the report. The panicky factor looks up from her tea when you wake up. Didn't let it steep long enough, she sighs. Was the magician right? Her eyes widen as you begin your explanation. She sits in silence for a while longer when you finish. So the colonist made a bargain with the serpents behind the glass. I can't help but wonder if where she shakes her head. London looks after its servants. Should you need assistance in the future, I'll put in a word. He intends to remain on Hybris for a little longer yet, and will not be departing with you. I now have a cryptic benefactor. Interesting. I still find it kind of funny that the bazaar is accessible. Okay. Well, with that done, circus. I have no idea where Lustrum is. Right. Well, let's get out of here regardless. Goodness, pirates for days. Which is more what I expected out here. Enter through the shattered windscreens. An intriguingly bulging sack. How pleasantly it rattles, with plenty of coin. Ow. Yeah, that was not what my scout picked up on. So let's go ahead and check that out properly then. Ah, Jet Sam, as compared to Jet Charlie or Jet Jeff. Ooh, it's T. Ooh, it's more Marauders. Maybe I can just outpace these guys. Excellent. Back to New Winchester. So maybe with a pit stop. It is unfortunate there's a massive rock right there. Yeah, we'll just ditch the barrel. Beats earning terror, and I just need 2 barrels, I think, just to get the first class of accommodations. A caracol. Here we go, Mourn the Dead. What little that helped. The circus. I don't know if there's anything I can do to reuse terror while I'm there, but see. At the very least, I can pick up on supplies. Okay, no news. The circus staff have learned your name. And then maybe the amusements. There we go. Terror has fallen. The circus staff have hinted that the ringmaster might care for a word. I have, however, already done that. It's nice. A lot of redo. Oh, they only sell supplies, right? You can pick up one just to see if it sells at London or Winchester for anything. Honestly, there's a shame there's nothing to uh that's changed in any of this, especially since I haven't done anything to help. Oh, I should have bought more of that. Okay. Well, next time I'll know. Next time I'll know that New Winchester likes its ministry-approved literature. You know, thinking about it. It's expensive. It chews up more fuel. Um, Maybe I should hold off until I have this guy. Two less crew, slightly less fuel efficiency, but more hull, more cargo space, and most importantly, I can get my drill. The Moloch class would be nice, but that's not going to happen. All right, off to Port Avon. We're not Port Avon, Port Prosper. Endure. Oh dear. Error rises. It's fine. Back in relatively safe territory. Of course, I say relatively. I do not have a first officer, so I shall actually sign her on. I should have done that a while ago. I am a humble first officer looking for what's the word when commoners do things for coin? She asks. Work. That's it. She beams at you, delighted, as innocent as a Gatling gun. That's an innocence, all right. As she steps aboard, a commoner calmly takes a spoon from his pocket and scoops out his eye. After such radiance, all else is tawdry, he says, between screams. It seems she's already forgotten about her signing on money. That's a reaction. It's a bit of an overreaction, but I guess that's a reaction. Alright, search for the amenable host's identity while we're here. Not a soul in Port Prosper recognizes the locket. Who's that then? Does he still wear his hat like that? Fancy. Become the familiar refrains. More promising is the house you saw painted in the amenable host chamber. Locate several candidates, all apparently repainted over the last couple of years, but one is in the exact location as in the host's painting. Nobody seems to remember who owned it or why, but apparently it had been once associated with the Parlor of Virtue, established not long after Port Prosper's foundation. Nothing conclusive. Alright, let's take a look at the factory. Speak with the owners. Factory manager removes his stovepipe and wipes away a bead of sweat. It's been difficult getting everything ready for the visit. Port Prosper's laws demand transparency of industry, but it's worth it for the safety of our workers. Production has been up, more hours refined than ever. See there, he indicates another visitor, useful, notable. Yes, we see some of Prosper's own barrels. Our labors were going so well. Even we here at the province are beginning to reap rewards. The huge cry goes up on the Morganton. Albert Span, a thief at the Admiral Nelson. The guards will not be kind. That gave me 6 sky stories. This does reduce terror at the cost of some reputation. Alright, let's head down to the Albion Relay. We finally head down to Albion. Hopefully. Oh, right, there's a delayed package. It turns out the previous courier was detained for having the wrong paperwork. Fortunately, the goods were impounded on this side of the relay. Well, I'll be able to get a permit. At a Bronzewood kiosk, the superintendent examines your papers, minutely sticks them on a spike, then signs and stamps a small booklet for you, your new transit permit. Union Jack Blue, he says. He says of its cover as if it were something to be proud of. I need a ministry stamp permit to go first class. Otherwise, it's hours to go second class. However, I do have. Every time I think I'm going to go to Albion, Remain in the Reach, I have to deliver that stuff. And then there's also. There's also checking up on the research to see what he's been up to. Oh dear. You are in possession of certain otherworldly artifacts that begin to appear persistently in your dreams. Never prominent, but always present. Setting cautiously on a mantelpiece, half hidden in a shadowed corner, carried casually by a loved one. The waif is one of the gods that skyfarers pray to. It takes an interest in outcasts and lost, and tends as a shepherd tends sheep. And let's give it a shot. Ah, well. Oof. Maintaining terror. A lot of terror. That's right, we're almost at the nature reserve. Wait. I've already. Incognito Princess. It is a good kind of nature. It is a good kind of nature reserve. Or the melodious kind. Oh. She's so spoiled. She about to learn. Now let's reduce our terror instead. Gather report. Deliver the previously impounded goods. A researcher fetches a crowbar to open the crate. Finally, he extracts one of several bottles of mushroom wine. You have any idea what's like being sober in this place? Yes. Yes, I do. That's not going to be any good. Research base. He left a note at the dock asking for you to drop by. There, the phlegmatic researcher welcomes you to his table with a booming, sit down, sit down. He calls for one of his scouts to pour you a brandy. Thanks to the hard labor of my fine colleagues, we've done it. It's just outside the window. The phlegmatic researcher points with his walking stick and raises his eyebrows theatrically. An orchid is growing outside. The trees all bear, well, one cannot say fruit, for they bear potatoes or carrots, while others have ears of corn hanging like pine cones. The phlegmatic researcher raises a glass. Call them sapling knots. With careful discipline, it is possible to harness to reach chaos and abundance. After that, one may dictate growth, one may be negotiated with. Research continues. Alright, what's he need? Has progressed. Davy brought the stomach of cantankerous, cutting of the petal from Titania, a fungal crinoline. I was hoping to get a hint as to where they come from. Fungal meteorites have been observed with lead and beer. Okay, so they're just out and about. And Albert's ideal. Here we go. We'll take a trip with him and receive some sky stories. And I think we'll just have to leave things here. So, everyone enjoy your time in the nature reserve. As some extra shore leave earned a little early. And maybe next time we'll actually finally make it into Albion. Maybe. Well, I hope you had a good time here as much as I did in the space train. As always, I hope you have a good day or good night wherever you may be. If you like my content, hit the like button. If you dislike my content, hit the dislike button. Both those help me out a lot. And if you want to catch my next recording or catch the next time I'm going live, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And if you have any errant thoughts at all, feel free to leave those down below in the comments. And until next time, ta-ta for now. Y'all have a good one.